Hi guys, welcome back. Today we will start with the first chapter of air navigation, chapter number 1, direction, latitude and longitude, where we will be dealing with all the topics which we had discussed in our previous video. So let's begin with the So guys, we'll start with a short intro on chapter 1, the shape of the earth. And guys, we all know the shape of the earth is sphere, and this is nearly true. But in fact, the earth shape is commonly described as oblate spheroid. That is a that is a sphere which is slightly flattened at its pole, north pole and south pole. This shape developed when the earth formed from a gas cloud as spin of the cloud caused high centrifugal force at the equator region. Guys, I have marked that oblate spheroid as yellow because it is important, and we have seen in few previous DGCA exams they have asked this question, so I have highlighted that one. So please take care of that. The flattening is called compression, and in the case of earth is approximately 0.3%. 0.3%. More simply put, the earth pole diameter is or 23 nautical miles or 43 kilometer less than its equator diameter. And guys, we have seen these questions also in previous DGCA exams. Like we have seen past 3 session exams paper, and we have seen these questions has been asked repeatedly. So I have marked it in yellow. So guys, we'll proceed to the next topic. So friends, this lesson will give you an understanding direction and the convention we used in determining the direction. As we all know, earth spin on its polar axis. The direction of earth spinning is east. Take it as a note. The direction of earth spin is east. All other directions are defined in relation to east. And guys, west is defined as the opposite direction to the east. So guys, in this slide you can see the red line which is from north pole to south pole, and we are showing the rotation of the earth is from west to east. So the rotation is in the east, and you can also see the red arrow which is going towards south and north. So we will explain what is that. So for your convenience, you imagine that you are standing towards east, facing your face towards east and standing, and your left hand is towards the north and the right hand is towards the south. So guys, north is the direction to the north pole which is on your left hand, and south is the direction to the south pole which is on your right hand side. Now come to the second image in the slide, which shows this direction: north, south, east and west, and these all 4 directions are also known as cardinal point. So guys, the midway direction between north, east, south, west and north are northeast, southeast, southwest and northwest. These directions are known as quadrilateral direction. To solve navigation problem, the students may occasionally need to consider the earth when viewed from either the north pole or the south pole. So when viewed from the above north pole, the earth appears to rotate in anti-clockwise direction. And when viewed from above the south pole, the earth appears to rotate in the clockwise direction. So this system of cardinal and quadrilateral direction was widely used in maritime navigation. But for now, in modern, these two basic directions are not too precise enough to travel from one place to another based on the direction. For example, it will not be possible to navigate based on these eight direction. So what we need is a system which is more accurate and flexible. So we will see on which system we used in our aircraft and what it is called as in our next slide. So friends, the system which we used is called as sexagesimal system. Sexagesimal system, which is also known as true direction. This system defines the direction in degrees from 0 to 360 degree. The cardinal point north is at 00 degree, but the convention to use is called as 360 degree. East is considered as 90 degree, south is 180 degree, west is 270 degree, and back to north it is 360 degree. Direction on earth is measured in degrees clockwise from north. When the north diagram is direction of the north geographic pole, it is referred as the true direction. To successfully navigate on earth, we need accuracy, and that is why position reference system comes here. Navigation is a fundamental process where an aircraft is directed from one position to another. It is therefore necessary to use position reference system, which is defined as accuracy on the earth surface. For example, on a plane surface, position can be defined accurately and using Cartesian coordinates x and y from two mutual perpendicular axes and the x and y axis. For instance, a Cartesian system is used for the UK national grid system. For example, a map going from starting point or departure point will call it as A, and the end point or destination point we will call it as Y. So plot it start point or destination point at X and end point or destination point at axis Y. The Cartesian system works well on a flat surface but must be modified to work on a spherical surface, that is Earth. In practical, the linear coordinates x and y are replaced by angular coordinates known as longitudinal and latitudinal. The first requirement of this spherical system is to define two mutually perpendicular axes. The definition and use of these axes involves circles on the earth, greater circles and small circle. So friends, the next topic is circle on the earth. Great circle, a circle on the surface of earth whose center and radius are those of the earth itself is called a great circle. It is called great because disk cut through the earth in the plane of great circle would have largest area than can be achieved. The shortest distance between 2 points on the earth surface is shorter arc of the great circle joining 2 points. Given 2 points on the Earth's surface, there will be only one great circle joining themselves unless the points are dramatically opposite. For your better understanding, I'll just go with the example. Imagine the Earth is cut into half, one at top and one at bottom. Means the Earth, take a Earth or consider Earth is cut equally half, top and bottom. The top one is known as northern hemisphere and the south one is called as southern hemisphere. So guys, we'll see few major definitions which we often use in our day-to-day work. Guys, the equator is the center of line. For example, in the previous slide I gave an example that we are cutting Earth equally into the half, the north hemisphere and southern hemisphere, and the line which joins these two are called as equator. The meridian, guys, lines which run pole to pole is called as meridians. There are many meridians on Earth. The particular meridian which we use in our aviation is the prime meridian. Prime meridian is the meridian runs from pole to pole, north to south pole, and bisects the code in London is called as Greenwich. The prime meridian is diagram for defining longitudinal and its equilateral of y-axis of the Cartesian system. Small circle, a circle on the surface of Earth whose center and radius are not those of the Earth is called a small circle. The main small circle of relevance to position are the parallels of latitude. Parallels of latitude. The parallels of latitude are small circle on the surface of Earth whose planes are parallel to the equator. They lies in east-west direction, which functions is to indicate positions north or south of the equator. Graticule, the network formed on a map or the surface of a globe by the prime meridian, the meridian, the equator, and the parallels of latitude is called the graticule. The graticule is an analog on the Earth's surface of the XY grid on grid paper or graph paper. Latitude. Latitude of any point is the arc measured along the meridian through the point from the equator to the point. It is expressed in degrees, minutes and seconds of the arc and is annotated north or south according to whether the point lies north or south of the equator. So guys, just imagine you are looking at the earth sideways. You are looking at the earth sideways on from space. That is the North Pole, which we have given in the figure as N. North Pole is at top of the diameter. The angular distance between where the meridian of A crosses the equator point P and point A is 40 degree and the latitude of point A is 40 degree north. It can also be said that A lies on the parallel of latitude of 40 degree north. The range of latitude value covers the equator 0 degree north or south to the geographical pole the north pole is 90 degree N and the south pole is 90 degree S from equator. Longitude. The longitude of any point is the shorter distance in the arc along the equator between the prime meridian and the meridian through the point. Longitude is measured in degrees and minute or arc and is another east or west depending whether the point lies east or west of the prime meridian, which is also called as Greenwich. So guys, we'll proceed to the next slide where the figure 1.1 longitude, and I'll be explaining it in detail what it is. So guys, we'll see what the figure 1.10 longitude says. Imagine you are looking down on the north pole from a point out in space. The meridian of point B crossing the equator at point Q. So you can see the point Q and point B in the figure. So the meridian of point B crosses the equator at point Q. Says 40 degree of arc to east of the prime meridian. Point B is said to be a longitude at 040 degree east. So when calculated the difference between the longitude of 2 points, if possible, positions are the same east or west longitude, then the one is subtracted from the other, that is 100 degree west minus 80 degree west is equals to 20 degree difference of sometimes called change of longitude. If the two longitudes are east and west, then the two are added together, that is example 20 degree west plus 10 degree east, which is equals to 30 degree difference or 30 degree change long. We'll go with one example. What is the difference in longitude between 163 degree east and 152 degree west? If the principle above was followed, the two would be added together to give 315 degree. However, we need to consider the shortest value of difference. In this case, if you take the 315 degree away from 360, you will get 45 degree change long. Longitudes can be measured up to 180 degree east or 180 degree west of the prime meridian. These two meridians are coincident and are known as Greenwich anti-meridian, normally labeled 180 degree east or 180 degree west. Difference in principle between latitude and longitude. These two angular coordinate systems are quite different in principle. Lines of latitude are all parallel to each other. Indeed, it is normal to talk of parallels of latitude, lines of longitude. However, emana from a point, the North Pole, reach a maximum separation at the equator and then convey back to a point again at the South Pole. You might find it a helpful illusion of thinking of latitude as like slicing a pineapple, parallel of latitude. Vice versa, longitude is like segmenting an orange, meridians of longitude. So in next slide, we'll discuss about Great Circle Verticus. Great circus versus the northern vertex of a great circle is simply the most northern point on the great circle. Similarly, the southern vertex is the most southern point on the great circle. The vertex are antipodal and the great circle distance between them is 1080 nautical miles. So let's understand what it say with the help of the figure. The vertex line on meridian and anti-meridian and have latitude value of equal value but of opposite side. For example, if the southern vertex of a great circle is 63 degree south, 170 degree west, its northern vertex will be 63 degree north and 10 degree east. At either of its vertex, the direction of the great circle will be east 90 degree or west 270 degree. Knowing the coordinates of either vertex enable calculation of where and at what angle the great circle crosses the equator. A great circle will cross the equator at 2 points whose longitude is 90 degree. Change of longitude from either of its vertex. Thus, the great circle in example in figure 1.13 would cross the equator at 080 degree west and 100 degree east. The track angle at which the great circle would cross the equator is based on the latitude of each vertex. The track angle would therefore depend on which direction the great circle was traveling from the vertex, that is east or west. Just have a look at figure 1.14 and 1.15. In figure 1.14, east bound would be 90 degree plus 63 degree, which is equals to 153 degree. In figure 1.15, having passed the southern vertex, still traveling east, the track angle at the second crossing of equator would be 90 degree minus 63 degree, which is equals to 27 degree. If the original direction had been west from the northern vertex, the track angle crossing the equator would be the reciprocal, that is 207 degree and 333 degree. So let us see what two special cases say. A great circle where vertex at 90 degree north or south, a meridian, crosses the equator at 90 degree in direction 180 degree towards 090 plus 90 or 000 degree, 090 minus 90 degree. A great circle where vertex at 0 degree north or south crossing the equator at 0 degree, it is the equator and has direction 090 degree or 270 degree. With this, we have come up with all the topics of chapter 1 in air navigation. If you have any sort of doubts, you can ask us. We will be happy to clear that. And also, I would like to share one thing that we have seen previous 3 to 4 sessions questions what they have asked in DGCA exams, and in our blog we will be showing you the questions what they have asked in chapter 1, and these questions are repeatedly asked in all the DGCA exam sessions. So guys, that's all for the day. We have covered up all the major topics in chapter 1, and we will also be sharing the chapter 1 notes in our blog. I have mentioned the details in the below description. You can go through that. And we will also be sharing the question bank of previous DGCA exams, which has been repeatedly asked in all the examinations. So go through that, and we will be trying our best to teach as much as possible. Thank you. We'll meet up you in next video. Till then, take care. Bye-bye.